Hello to all students, I am Professor Masood Fuzail. Today we are going to discuss life cycle of gymnosperms. As you know that gymnosperms are such plants which produce naked seed. Gymno mean naked, sperms mean seeds. These plants are usually found in hilly areas or northern areas of any country. They can bear very harsh environment. They produce seed but no fruits. So today my focus is on the life cycle of gymnosperms. So let's discuss the life cycle of a gymnosperm. First of all, I have a diagram of a plant which is gymnosperm. The whole plant is known as sporophyte. Usually sporophyte are conspicuous and they are visible to everybody. Sporophytic plant usually have two types of branches which bear cones. This one branch I have taken from a tree. Usually these branches they bear needle-like leaves. I have a small broken branch which has been dried, and look at the leaves. These are very needle-like leaves, very thin. Why they have thin leaves? This is because they live in a very harsh environment and they bear needle-like leaves so that to avoid excessive transpiration, because there is always shortage of water, and to avoid snow, because in the winter they have a lot of snow in that areas, and when snow falls on the leaves, if the leaf is flat, a lot of snow will be accumulate on the branches and a tree can be broken, the branches can be broken down. So there are other options, there are also other options which they have, but we will discuss that options in other lecture. So my focus is on the life cycle. So this is a branch of a sporophyte gymnosperm tree. It has needle-like leaves. It bears cones. Cone is a small structure which does not resemble flower, because gymnosperm do not produce flowers. They produce cones. Cones are made up of sporophylls, which are scale-like leaves which contain microsporangia or male gametes. So these are cones which are known as pollen bearing cones. I have taken out one pollen bearing cone. This cone has a central axis and leaves, scale-like leaves on the both sides of the cone. Between the scale-like leaves there are present sporangia which are known as microsporangia. The single is known as microsporangium. Inside each microsporangium, micro mean male, so you can call it male sporangium. So microsporangium contain microspore mother cell, which is a diploid cell. This microspore mother cell, which is diploid, undergoes meiosis. As you know that meiosis is a reduction division which divides the chromosome number into half. Microspore mother cell undergoes meiosis and produce microspores which have haploid number of chromosome depending upon the species, and millions of new microspores are produced with half number of chromosome. I have taken out one microspore from this microsporangium and this microspore has single nucleus. It divides mitotically into two, and then one cell remains same while the other cell divides into two cells again, and in this way three cells are produced. One cell is known as pollen tube nucleus which will produce pollen tube, and the while other two cells are sperms. After the completion of this process, pollen produces wings on the lateral sides. Now this structure is known as male gametophyte or microgametophyte, which is known as pollen grain. Pollen grain has one pollen nucleus, two sperms and lateral wings to fly in the air, to remain airborne for longer period of time to reach to the female gametophyte. This whole process can be summarized as a scheme so that you can easily understand it. Number one, sporophyte. This is a sporophytic plant. It bears cones, and cones have phylls, leaves, which are known as microsporophylls. Micro mean male, sporo mean microspore, phyll mean leaf. Such leaves which bear spores are called microsporophylls. Microsporophyll contain microsporangium, as you can see over here, microsporangium in the red color. Microsporangia contain microspore mother cell which are diploid, which are going to undergo meiosis and produce microspore. After meiosis, microspore mother cell produces microspores in large amount. Microspore germinate to produce microgametophyte. Microgametophyte is a pollen grain which contain pollen tube nucleus and sperms, which is also known as microgamete or sperm. So in this way, this whole process can easily be understood. Now let's move on to the female part. Again, this is a sporophyte, another branch which bear ovulate cone, female cones. I have taken out one cone over here. This is a female cone. Female cone also contain phylls, sporophylls, which are known as megasporophylls. These megasporophylls bear sporangia, which are known as megasporangia in the form of ovule. Usually जो female cone is usually larger than male cone and it has woody in texture. These megasporophyll contain ovules. What is an ovule? Ovule is an integumented, indehiscent megasporangium. Integumented mean it has integuments. Indehiscent mean which cannot be open. Megasporangium, as you know, that which contain megaspore, its structure is known as ovule. So they bear ovule. Inside the ovule there is a megasporangium and each megasporangium contains megaspore mother cell which is diploid. Megaspore mother cell divides meiotically by meiosis, produce 4 haploid cells, and from these 4 haploid cells, one will be functional megaspore while other 3 degenerate because there is no space to handle all these 4 cells at the same time. So 3 cells smaller will degenerate and one functional megaspore will further divide mitotically. It divides into 1 to 2 and then 2 to 4 and then convert into female gametophyte which usually contain 1 to many archegonia which contain egg. For instance, I have taken this ovule megasporangium and it contains 2 archegonia which contain egg. This is the structure inside ovule which is known as archegonium. Archegonium contain egg and at this time you can call it female gametophyte or megagametophyte. Now this whole process of male gametophyte formation and female gametophyte formation takes place around 15 months, like 1 year and 3 months. Usually this process starts at a spring of 1 year and then completed up in the summer of the next year. When this whole process is completed, now it's time for pollination and fertilization. When both the cones are ready, female cone bursts and millions of pollen grains are released from the cones which fly with the help of their wings a long distance and they can reach miles away. They reach and land. From here pollen grains land on the other branch, other tree or same tree on the female cone, on the surface of female cone. This process is known as pollination. As you can see this here, this pollen is going to fall over here. To better understand, I have enlarged this diagram. This is the pollen grain. Pollen grain contains sperms which has to reach to egg, which is a male female gamete, but there is no space. All the tissues around the archegonium ovule are compactly packed. So there is a pollen nucleus inside pollen grain which is going to make a way to reach the female gamete. Enzymes secreted by the pollen tube nucleus will dissolve the tissues and make a tube-like structure which is known as pollen tube. Pollen tube will make a way for sperm to reach the egg. Usually 1 to many sperms can reach the egg, but usually 1 or maximum 2 eggs are fertilized at one while other degenerate. So when sperms fertilizes the egg, N haploid sperm fuses with haploid egg form diploid zygote. After the formation of diploid zygote inside the cone, it will convert it into embryo, and after embryo formation food storage takes place and a structure is formed as seed, and this whole process takes place about 2 years. and seeds are produced inside the cones. So I have a small cone of a pine tree. As you can see, this has a scales like scales, leafy scales which are woody in texture. This is a open cone because it has been opened, dried and open, and all the seeds inside the cone has been dispersed. While female cone is like when it is not opened, it is compact and closed. All the sporophylls are tightly closed with each other. After 2 years after pollination, when seeds are mature, this cone open up with the help of sunlight, and all the seeds from inside the cone disperse in the air. Usually seeds have wings with which they can fly long distance from one place to another place and fall onto a surface. Where they fall, a new plant is produced which is known as a seedling plant and which grows into sporophyte. So gymnosperms, the life cycle of gymnosperm in this way has been completed. Gymnosperm usually do alternation of generation. As you can see, this is a sporophytic generation which is conspicuous, and sporophytic generation produces cones. Inside the cones, male and female gametophyte are produced. Female and male gametophyte are very reduced and inconspicuous, very difficult to see them. So they are inside the cones. These male and female gametophyte fuses with each other and form seeds which give rise to sporophyte generation. So in this way, sporophytic generation give rise to gametophytic generation, and gametophytic generation give rise to sporophytic generation. In this way, a process of alternation of generation is taking place inside the gymnosperms. So in this way, I hope you have understood all this topic. Until see you then, until next lecture. Until then, bye.